What if I told you that everything you've been taught about how to change your life is only scratching the surface? That the results you're chasing, more money, the perfect partner, radiant health, even something as extraordinary as winning the lottery, aren't waiting for you out there, but are already encoded within you, waiting to be activated? Sounds impossible? Let's peel back the curtain. Modern neuroscience reveals a powerful truth. 50% of what you remember about your past isn't even real. It's a patchwork of stories, fragments, and emotional residue your brain has stitched together over time. But because you're not the same person you were 15, 30, or even 5 years ago. Your brain isn't the same. Your memories aren't either. And that's exactly where the power lies. Let's start with what really happens when you feel an intense emotion like anger, fear, or anxiety. The moment you're triggered, say someone insults you or you feel rejected, your brain doesn't just think about it. It reacts chemically. The amygdala, your brain's emotional processing center, sends out distress signals that trigger the release of stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. These chemicals prepare your body for survival. Muscles tense, heart rate increases, and your senses heighten. It's useful in actual danger. But when that emotional charge isn't resolved, it lingers. That lingering becomes your mood. If that mood persists long enough, it becomes your temperament. And eventually, that temperament hardens into your personality. This is how someone becomes anxious or angry by identity, not because they're choosing it, but because they're chemically addicted to those emotional states. Here's where people get stuck. Every time you remember a painful moment from the past, your body releases the same chemicals as if it's happening again. Your body literally believes it's back in that moment. This is because the brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. So when you keep replaying the breakup, the betrayal, the failure, you're not just remembering it, you're reliving it. And your body becomes conditioned to that emotional state. It memorizes the feeling of heartbreak or fear or lack, and it gets addicted to it. That's why you keep attracting the same kind of relationships, opportunities, and setbacks. Your body is driving the show, and it's running the same old script. If you feel guilt or fear every morning for a week, that becomes your mood. If it stretches out for a few months, that becomes your temperament. And if it defines you for a year or more, it becomes your personality. This is how someone becomes just the kind of person who's always stressed, or someone who's just unlucky in love. It's not who they are. It's who they've practiced being, emotionally and chemically, for so long that it now feels like truth. When you're emotionally stuck, it's not just psychological, it's biological. Your cells become so used to certain chemicals that they crave them. So even if you say, "I want peace," your body may still unconsciously seek out chaos, just to get its emotional fix. This is why people self-sabotage. They want love but pick partners who don't show up. They want abundance but stay in scarcity-based habits. It's not conscious. It's chemical. You are literally addicted to the emotions of your past. The good news? You're not stuck with the emotions of your past. You can rewire the emotional programs running in your body. But it takes intention, repetition, and emotional alignment. You can't just say affirmations from your mind. You have to feel them in your body. The body is the unconscious mind. So if your body doesn't believe you're abundant, loved, safe, or whole, nothing will change. To break the cycle, you must teach the body a new emotional language. And that starts by generating the feelings of the future before it arrives. This is where the phrase, "it is done," becomes powerful. When you say, "it is done," and feel it as if your desire is already real, you send a new chemical signal to your body. You tell your cells, "we're no longer living in survival. We're now living in creation." This changes your internal chemistry. Dopamine rises, stress hormones drop, and new neural pathways form. You begin to train your body to expect and allow the reality you desire. Instead of waiting for the thing to happen so you can feel it, you feel it first so the thing can happen. That's not magical thinking. That's neuroscience. If you're ready to break emotional patterns and rewrite your internal programming, start here. Daily visualization. Close your eyes and imagine your future self already living your desired life. Don't just see it, feel it. Feel what success, love, or peace feels like in your body. Emotional practice. Each morning, identify the emotions you want to live in: joy, love, confidence. Consciously generate those feelings before your day begins. Your body will start learning the new emotional code. Affirmation with emotion. Don't just repeat affirmations like a robot. Say them slowly, with full presence, and attach real emotional charge to the words. I am already whole. It is done. Interrupt old patterns. When you catch yourself spiraling into guilt, lack, or anxiety, pause. Breathe. Speak a new truth to your body. Declare, that's the old me. I'm not that anymore. Most people don't change because it's uncomfortable. Feeling new emotions like joy, abundance, and self-worth can actually feel unsafe when your body is used to stress or shame. Your body might resist. Your mind might protest. But discomfort is the price of transformation. When you keep practicing the feeling of your future, eventually, it becomes your new baseline. And when your internal world changes, your external world has no choice but to follow. Every transformation begins with a rupture. A decision. A moment when you say, I can't keep living like this. Not from ego, but from something deeper, something ancient and sacred inside you whispering, there's more. But as soon as you decide to leave the familiar, the old self rises in defense. It doesn't care if the familiar is painful, it just knows it well. And so, with clenched fists, it pulls you back into its loop of comfort, predictability, and control. That's the beginning of the river of change, a psychological and emotional current that seeks to carry you to a new version of yourself but first demands that you let go of everything you've used to define your identity. Most people stand at the edge of this river and hesitate. The cost of becoming new seems too high. So they turn back, not because they can't change, but because they fear the unknown more than they fear staying the same. But you, if you're reading this, you're not most people. You feel it, don't you? That call to cross. Let's get brutally honest. Your body doesn't want you to change. Not because it's against you, but because it's efficient. It's been wired by repetition. Thoughts repeated become beliefs. Feelings repeated become identity. Actions repeated become habits. All of it running below your conscious awareness. So when you begin to act against that conditioning, waking up earlier, choosing stillness over scrolling, saying no when you're used to saying yes, the body interprets that shift as a threat to survival. Resistance comes in the form of internal negotiation. This feels too weird. Maybe later. What's the point? Nothing ever works out. I'm not ready yet. I need to prepare more. These are not facts. These are defense mechanisms. Your old self playing defense to protect its reign. And here's what separates those who cross from those who retreat: awareness without reaction. When you feel fear, doubt, or discomfort, recognize them for what they are: signs you've disrupted the program. That's not failure. That's progress. From a neuroscientific lens, what you're really doing in the river of change is unlearning and rewiring. Think of your old self as a well-worn neurological path, like a deep trail carved in the woods. Every thought you've repeated, every emotion you've felt over and over, has created strong neural connections. Those pathways are fast, familiar, and automatic. Change requires neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new pathways. And that only happens when you disrupt the old pattern and consistently introduce new ones. In the beginning, this feels unnatural. That's because your neurons are still trying to fire in the old way. But with focused, intentional practice, meditation, journaling, conscious behavior, you begin to carve a new path. Eventually, the new pathway becomes the dominant one. This is why consistency is more important than intensity. A small practice repeated daily reshapes your brain faster than sporadic big efforts. Let's be honest, this isn't just hard. It's painful. You're not just giving up bad habits. You're grieving parts of yourself. The versions of you that once protected you, even if they were self-sabotaging. The identities built around suffering, approval, or productivity. The roles you've played to feel safe. There's a moment in the river where the old self is dissolving and the new self isn't fully born. You're between identities. This liminal space can feel like death. And in some ways, it is. You'll want to turn back, Not because the new you isn't possible, but because the old you is dying and begging for air. If you can stay, if you can breathe through the panic, the doubt, the nothingness, you'll witness something miraculous, the birth of a truer you. And you'll realize the river didn't come to drown you. It came to cleanse you. Let's expose the trap. Most people believe the discomfort means they're doing it wrong. They begin to doubt the process. They interpret resistance as misalignment. They tell themselves stories like, "This must not be for me. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. I'll try something else instead." And so they retreat to what's familiar. They go back to the job, the relationship, the emotional state they swore they'd outgrow. Not because they're weak, but because no one told them, discomfort is the gateway. Most people never make it to the other side because they confuse discomfort with a sign to quit. The ones who do make it, they learn to smile in the chaos. They whisper, "This is part of it," while the old self screams. They don't seek relief. They seek liberation. Your emotional state is not just a personal experience, it's a broadcast. Every time you think a thought, it produces a chemical. Every time you feel an emotion, it sends a signal to your cells. Over time, your entire energetic signature, the frequency you emit, becomes shaped by your dominant emotional states. So when you're in fear, lack, or frustration, you're not just feeling it, you're radiating it. When you cross the river and begin embodying the emotions of your future, peace, gratitude, certainty, you change your frequency. And here's the wild truth. Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. You begin to align not because you've controlled your external world, but because you've elevated your internal one. Let's break it down practically. To become the new version of yourself, you must emotionally rehearse the future you before it arrives. Here's how. Close your eyes. Disconnect from your environment. See the moment your dream becomes real. Make it vivid. Feel what that version of you feels: confidence, joy, freedom. Hold that emotion for as long as you can. Let your body memorize it. Do this enough, and your nervous system begins to believe it's real. And when that belief reaches your cells, you begin making decisions from that identity. You're not chasing the goal anymore. You're embodying the version of you that already has it. That's when life starts responding differently. Not because life changed, but because you did. As you cross the river, there's often a final test. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's silence. No signs. No breakthroughs. No external validation. Just stillness. This is the point most turn back, thinking, nothing's working. But that silence is sacred. It means you're no longer feeding the old self, and the new self is still calibrating. Don't rush it. This is where trust is forged. This is where the most magnetic alignment is born. Not from frantic doing, but from grounded being. Silence isn't the absence of progress. It's the womb of transformation. When you finally cross the river, something unexpected happens. You don't feel euphoric. You don't hear angel choirs. You feel natural. Being the new you feels normal. Embodying your power feels inevitable. Walking away from the old self feels effortless. But because you're no longer pretending, you've practiced it, rehearsed it, became it. And now life starts to mirror that back. Not instantly, not dramatically, but unmistakably. Suddenly, you're having different conversations. You're noticing different opportunities. You're feeling pulled by something higher rather than pushed by fear. You crossed. And now, you don't just survive, you create. Change is difficult. But the real reason most people give up before experiencing their breakthrough is not because the process is hard. It's because the familiar continuously calls you back, seducing you with comfort and predictability. You may have experienced it yourself. You've made the decision to change, to step out of the confines of the old patterns. Perhaps you've started waking up earlier, or you've shifted your mindset from scarcity to abundance, or maybe you've begun actively visualizing your goals. But then, almost immediately, doubt starts to creep in. It often starts as a whisper in the back of your mind. Just check your bank account. Maybe you're getting closer. Maybe there's a sign in your external world. If the manifestation is real, there should be proof, right? Has anything changed? You should check again, just to be sure. These thoughts feel urgent and reasonable, and yet, they are the exact moment where your transformation can either flourish or flounder. The human mind, rooted in survival, is conditioned to seek evidence. Proof, logic, and certainty are the comfort zones of the brain. The problem? That isn't faith, it's doubt wearing a mask. Faith isn't about waiting for signs to prove that things are happening behind the scenes. Faith, true faith, is about trusting that things are already working, even when you don't see any evidence yet. True alignment doesn't require validation from the external world. When you're truly aligned with your vision, you stop needing proof because you become the proof. Let's break down the nature of this struggle in more depth. There's a saying that old habits die hard, and this couldn't be truer when it comes to transformation. The old you, the one shaped by past experiences, limiting beliefs, and ingrained behaviors, will always fight to keep you in the same place. It will convince you that the familiar is safe, even when it's filled with lack, limitation, and dissatisfaction. Here's where the paradox lies. The more you resist the pull of the old self, the more it pulls. It creates stories, justifications, and distractions to keep you stuck in the known. When you feel the discomfort of stepping into something new, it's not a sign that you're on the wrong path, it's a sign that you're on the verge of a breakthrough. This moment is the defining point. Will you continue to press forward, trusting in the unseen, or will you turn back, convinced by the illusion that the familiar is safer than the unknown? One of the greatest challenges of personal growth is the overwhelming desire to see immediate results. This is especially true in our instant gratification world, where progress is often measured by external indicators, bank balances, job promotions, relationships, social media validation, and so on. When you're manifesting change, whether it's a new relationship, financial freedom, or health transformation, those external markers often serve as the proof that your hard work is paying off. And it's easy to fall into the trap of needing those markers to continue. But real manifestation is not about seeking external validation. It's about becoming aligned with the energy of the outcome, regardless of what is happening outside of you. True alignment with your desires comes when you stop asking when or how it will happen. When you've embodied the feeling of already having what you want, when your energy, thoughts, and emotions match the frequency of the reality you want to create, the manifestation becomes inevitable. Here's the profound truth. When you no longer need the outcome to feel whole, it arrives. It's not that you're waiting for something to happen. You've already moved into the state of being that matches the outcome you seek. This is why the universe can't help but match you with your desires. Many people mistakenly believe that they need to have something in order to feel whole. But this isn't the case. In fact, this is the reason most people give up before they reach the breakthrough they're longing for. Let's dive deeper into this. The desire for something is often rooted in an internal belief that we need it in order to be happy, validated, or complete. It's a belief that fulfillment exists somewhere in the future, that you must attain something to feel that you've made it. However, this belief is a trap. It's misalignment in disguise. The universe, or the energy of manifestation, operates in a paradox. When you feel fulfilled and whole right now, exactly as you are, the things you desire begin to materialize effortlessly. Not because you're chasing them, but because you've aligned with them energetically. This process requires a profound shift in perspective. Instead of chasing your goals and dreams with desperation, you must first align with the state of being that would already have those goals. This means adopting the energy of someone who is already living in their dream reality. When you no longer need the outcome to define your worth, you become magnetic to it. In the world of manifestation and personal growth, there's a powerful tool called "it is done." These 3 words are deceptively simple, but they are the key to unlocking your transformation. Let's explore why they work. When you say, "it is done," you are signaling to your subconscious mind that you are no longer in a state of waiting. You are no longer a person who is seeking, desiring, or trying to manifest. Instead, you become a person who already has what they want. Here's what happens on a deep, subconscious level. The energy of desire is rooted in lack. It says, "I don't have this thing, but I want it." However, when you say, "it is done," you are affirming that the desired outcome is already part of your reality. This moves you from a state of longing to a state of ownership. The phrase, "it is done," reprograms your mind to believe that the future you are striving for is already your present reality. No longer are you waiting for something to happen. You are now living in the feeling of it happening right now. This changes the energetic frequency you emit, aligning your actions and decisions with the new identity. Once you make the identity shift from a person who is seeking to a person who already possesses, everything changes. Your behaviors align with your new identity. You begin to make decisions from the standpoint of someone who already has what they desire, and that subtle shift in energy begins to shape your external reality. This is why "it is done" works. It triggers an inner transformation that moves you into full alignment with your desire. It's no longer about wishing for something to happen, it's about embodying the outcome. The real reason most people give up before the breakthrough is that they lose trust in the process. We live in a world that craves immediate results. We check our phones every few minutes to see if we've received an email, a text, or a like on a post. We expect things to happen quickly. But transformation, especially on a deep level, takes time. It's important to remember that while you might not see immediate external evidence of your manifestation, it doesn't mean it's not working. Every thought, every emotion, every shift in your mindset is laying the foundation for the change to come. The key is to stay consistent, even when you can't see the results yet. Every moment you continue to trust the process, to act in alignment with your future self, you are reinforcing the energetic frequency that will eventually attract your desires. Remember, success is the result of consistency, not desperation. Let's explore the concept of manifesting your dreams through the lens of neurology. Visualization, paired with strong emotions, actively engages the brain's neural pathways. Every time you imagine your goals and connect emotionally to their fulfillment, your brain treats it as if it is already happening. This is a process known as neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to reorganize and form new neural connections. The brain operates on the principle of expectation. When you visualize your dreams, the brain begins to prepare your mind and body as if they have already been realized. Repeated visualization and emotional investment create a neurological map, guiding your actions toward your goals. This rewiring process shifts you from uncertainty to certainty, transforming your approach to life. Visualization isn't passive, it's an active process. When you visualize and emotionally invest in your goals, you're rewiring your brain. The result is the formation of a neurological blueprint that guides your thoughts and behaviors. Over time, your brain starts to follow clear instructions that align with your desired reality. Your body, too, follows the brain's lead. As your brain rewires, your body realigns with the vision of your success, creating a harmony between mind and body that propels you toward your goal. Emotions play a critical role in strengthening the neural pathways that support your vision. The brain connects emotions to memory, and when you pair strong feelings with your visualizations, you increase the likelihood of creating lasting neural connections. For example, when you visualize success and feel the excitement and pride associated with achieving your dream, your brain strengthens the pathways that align with those feelings. The stronger the emotional connection, the more ingrained the neural pathways become, creating a feedback loop that propels you forward. As your brain rewires, you begin to notice synchronicities and coincidences, events that seem to unfold in alignment with your desires. These occurrences are not by chance. They are the result of your brain's new perspective. Once your brain is aligned with your vision, you begin to see opportunities you may have missed before. It's not about chasing your dreams, but magnetizing them. This is a result of perception. Once you're aligned with your goal, your brain naturally filters and directs your attention toward the opportunities and resources that will help you achieve it. Here's the truth: the ticket to your success is already in your hand. But you won't see it until you believe it's there. Belief is the key to transforming your reality. You don't win by chance. You win by choosing to rise above your circumstances, emotions, and limitations. Every time you say, "it is done," you're making a conscious choice to embody the version of yourself who has already achieved your dreams. This declaration is a line in the sand between who you were and who you are becoming. When you choose to believe that your dreams are already realized, you stop waiting for external validation. Instead, you embody the success you seek. Every time you say, "It is done," you are creating a shift in identity. Over time, this identity shift forms a bridge to your new reality, a reality where your goals are already accomplished. By repeating this process, your brain, body, and energy align with the version of you who has already manifested their desires. With each repetition, you strengthen the new identity until it becomes your dominant way of being.